Thank you guys for coming tonight. It's been a long journey for Danny and I. Danny's journey a bit longer than others, as he'll probably tell you here shortly. It's been quite a day for him, and we'll get to that in a moment. Danny, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Mike's working good. I'm feeling good. I'm here. We made it.
Yeah. So welcome to Inside the Green Room, our first live recording here in Halifax, first live recording ever. It's exciting for us to do this here at the Canadian Museum of Immigration, considering your positioning as coming into Canada. What happened today, though?
Oh, today?
Yeah, today.
It was interesting. Well, everybody I talked to in Toronto, they have either family or people they know from here, or they went to school here. It's crazy. I never heard of it, but I'm learning a lot. I learned a lot about it since I've mentioned it, or since people know I was coming here. But I get off the plane, and I got the middle seat in between a couple.
Wait, how'd that happen?
I don't know, man.
Did you not ask the people beside you to switch seats?
No, so I got there. I was kind of late. I was running from workout, so I was kind of late. I checked the seat, and I was like, maybe I'll go to the counter and ask. But by that time, they were already boarding. So when I was there in the plane, I was seeing if I can get a.
Yeah.
It wasn't full flight. It was a full flight, though, like unfortunately.
But you play for the Raptors, though. You should not sit
Yeah, I
in the
don't think that
middle
matters. So I was asking a lady, and she was like, did you forget your headphones? Because she showed me listen to a video. And I'm like, yeah, I did. I left it up top. But I don't think this guy next to me is going to let me out again. Because, and she was like, he will. I'm like, do you know him? She was like, yeah, I think it's her husband. She was like, I'm like, okay, do y'all want to sit together? She's like, no, I like the window. And he's like, I need the aisle. She likes the window. I'm like, that's cool, all right. So I'll just sit in the middle. But I took a little nap. I got off the plane. I went to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I had my podcast stuff with me. Just I bring with me.
Oh,
I never knew if I needed it or not.
Yeah.
And I put it on top of the, I guess, right above the urinal or whatever. I forgot. I washed my hands and walked 30 steps to come out. But I don't know how it is. If you guys know how it is in America, like we don't have the exit where you walk open through the doors and like the little screening. So I walked out of that and I walked through the exit. And you can't go back. So I'm like, I left my bag upstairs in the bathroom. I tried to run back through the doors, but as soon as you walk, they're like, stop, turn around, like some robot guy talks to you. He's like, please stop, turn around, and it's like the big scene, and everybody's looking at me, and I'm telling people to let me out, but they're like, no, we can't let you out. It won't let us in, so I had to walk out, but it took forever. I still don't have my bag.
Yeah, you left the podcast equipment in the bathroom.
Just to go back to the bathroom to get the bag, I couldn't get it, so we walked around, we walked back down again, and tried to get somebody to get the bag. We're running late, man. We have to hurry up, so we just left the bag anyway. But I've never seen that before. It was a crazy process just to get I left it in the bathroom.
Yeah, well, security's tight here.
It was like 30 steps away. I couldn't get back.
Yeah, well, security is tight. The G7 summit is here as well, so you're not the only important person in town.
Yeah, hopefully better on the way back, though. Hopefully we won't get a middle seat, and they'll have my bag there, hopefully.
Do you have a middle seat for the flight back?
I don't know. I haven't checked that.
Yeah, Gabe, you got to work on that. Where's Gabe? All right, there we go. Yeah. All right. The last episode, if you guys haven't heard our episodes before, they usually come out bi-weekly, but we're coming back fairly quickly for this live episode. Last episode, though, when Bria Hartley was on, she talked about her experiences playing overseas. Yeah. And you said when you were younger, you didn't even leave the country.
Not much. No, not much.
Did you ever envision yourself when you were younger playing basketball in Canada?
Well, no, actually, no. I think I'd be playing in the NBA and be outside the country. You don't really realize that. As a kid, you think all NBA teams are in the country. Mm-hmm. As you get older, you realize every time you come here, you have to go through customs and the whole process, and you see them go through it every time. You're like, that sucks. But it is a fun city. Everybody comes to Toronto and Canada. They love it, regardless of where it is in Canada. People are a lot nicer. I'm from New York, so you understand where I'm coming from.
You're not nice.
People aren't as nice, but people are a lot nicer, and the city has great energy. So every time you come here, I'd love to visit, but just going through customs was a real pain.
Well, you know what we're going to do, or hopefully try and do, is get you a Canadian citizenship. We're working on that. Oh, yeah? We have a little quiz at the end of tonight's little live taping.
Would that help me get through customs and everything?
So we'll see if we can pull some strings.
There's
some powerful people in town. Maybe we could talk to them.
Do I still get to keep my Texas insurance and taxes in Texas?
I don't know about all that.
Because the taxes here are unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't know about all that, my friend. We're going to try and do that. We're also going to talk about Kawhi Leonard working out with Kobe Bryant.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Kawhi. I thought I would get away one day. without
talking. So have you talked to Kawhi recently? How's Kawhi doing?
I thought I'd get away with at least a day not talking about the guy, but it doesn't happen. Soon enough, he'll be in front of the media and he'll be speaking. So then, I don't have to talk for him anymore. Well, I was really
you'll still be talking for him for sure. I was really
thinking about telling the press like something crazy, just to see if they would take and run with it. Like
they might.
Kawhi says he hates ice cream. And, so they make it big news. You know what I'm saying? They make everything big news.
Messiah Jerry Ben's ice cream in Toronto.
I don't know what
per Danny Green report.
Yeah, they talk to me like I know his everyday move. I don't know what he does every day. We don't talk every day. So I have no. But we talk about.
We'll talk about it for sure.
Actually,
a little bit.
I meant to ask Phil Handy that. I saw him today.
About the workout.
Just got back. Yeah, because Phil was the main guy who does workouts with him. He was in the picture. I think he's the one that took the picture. And he's great at what he does. I love working out with Phil. He's one of the guys that I was with in San Diego. We worked out with Kawhi and him. Mm-hmm. But he's the reason why I went there, and I've been trying to catch him as much as possible because everybody loves to work out with Phil.
We'll discuss that more with Michael Grange, who's going to be on our second segment. Michael Grange from Sportsnet, who covers the Raptors very well. But, with the people here, I want them to know more about you and your story growing up and the perseverance that you showed to get where you are now.
For the kids, okay, I guess.
Yes. So the first question I have for you, when did you fall in love with basketball?
My dad was a big basketball fan, so I've watched it since I was a baby, basically. He had me at a young age. He said I picked up the ball at 2. I don't know if that's true or not, but I probably did. He had a little Fisher-Price rim, but I was playing in like the little leagues, town leagues at 5, and he was a big Michael Jordan fan, so we watched the Bulls a lot. Then later came the Spurs and everybody else throughout the years, like people that came from New York, like Stephon Marbury. But we also was a fan of many other players, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, all the guys that came through Toronto as well. But said Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, and then obviously LeBron came later with Shaquille O'Neal in his heyday. So I've always been a Gary Payton. You talked about one of your favorite guys. He's one of my favorite guys too. So I try to wear his shoes when I can. It's a little different out there. It's hard to find them a lot, but
they're not out there.
I try to pay homage to those older guys because they're the reason why I started to love the game. I watched it at a very young age. My dad was a big fan, so I naturally became a big fan because every kid thinks their dad is Superman when you're 5 years old.
So everything's going well for you when you're younger, right? You're one of the best players.
For the most part, when you're younger, you're usually better than everybody. Well, I was taller than everybody else, and I was bigger than everybody else. So and then I had to work. My dad made me work on my game, so I was better than everybody else when I was younger, yes.
When I met Danny in high school, I've known him since I was 16, so we've known each other for a very long time.
Yeah, 15, 16.
15, 16 years. Yeah. When I met Danny, that's when I realized I shouldn't have played basketball anymore in my life. I should be a journalist. Hands were bigger, taller. I was like, all right, I got to do this journalism thing. So I covered Danny a lot in high school. His team was one of the top teams in the country, St. Mary's High School. And then he went to North Carolina. You won a national championship. I was down there with Danny, celebrated a national championship, if you remember that. That was good times.
Crazy. You were down there.
Yeah, everything was good. You get drafted by the Cavs. Second round, not first round. I'm sure you want to be first round. So you play 20 games with the Cavs with LeBron James. You don't get that much playing time, but you're on the team. You're on an NBA roster. Your childhood dream since you were 2 years old in the backyard with your father watching games. LeBron leaves. You get released.
The organization changed.
Organization changed. Your life changed. What was going through your mind when that happened?
Well, let's go back to the high school. Our team because my coach was a really great recruiter. Mm-hmm. And even then, when I first got there, I didn't always start or just play a lot of minutes. I came in as a sophomore, transferred in. I had to earn my spot. I had to earn my minutes. So my junior year, he started looking at me as more of a leader. But we had Mamadou at the time. We had a lot of guys there.
I remember him.
But as we got older, our team was good because we had a lot of guys that we groomed from freshman year, 10th grade, and everybody stayed there. We had a really good team. We were top in the country until we lost in the finals or whatever. Mm-hmm. When I got to Carolina, also, I had to earn my spot. So I didn't start until my senior year at Carolina.
That's when Marcus Ginyard got hurt.
Marcus Ginyard was there. Yeah, he got hurt, and he took a year. He redshirted that year.
That
so who would have known if I would have ever started at Carolina if he was healthy. So my freshman year, I played pretty good amount of minutes. My sophomore year, barely none. And my junior year, I was like the sixth man coming off the bench. I played a lot of minutes. But senior year, there was no guarantee. It was up in the air. I didn't start until my senior year. Cleveland had to make the team because you get drafted in the second round. You don't automatically just get a contract. You have to make the team and prove yourself worthy of enough being. I was a cheap contract, so they signed me. They thought I was good enough to stay on the team. We said as Bron, after the year, the decision came where Bron was in front of the
TV. Where were you during the decision?
I was actually in Cleveland, and I was in the cold tub. I think we were all like just working out. Summertime.
In the cold tub, y'all watched the
decision. So as a rookie and stuff, you have to do summer league. I was getting ready for summer league. We were there. We had the young guys there in the group getting ready for summer league, and we just finished a workout, and everybody's watching decision in Cleveland too. We're all cold tub, training room, weight room, every
you're rooting for him to come back at this point, right? LeBron.
I thought. I don't know. What did I know? I was a rookie, so I'm watching it. I'm like, hey, he's coming back. We're not worried about it. And
that changed.
His announcement, and we're just looking like, is that it? Like we thought he was joking. Like, all right, so I guess he's gone. And then we did summer league.
You're the captain now.
Yeah, I happened to get injured. We had a lot of older guys there still. I did summer league. Happened to get injured, bad ankle injuries or something like that. And then earlier preseason, they had another kid that was playing well, so I was waived. I was cut at the time. Had to figure it out. Got a couple workouts in San Antonio. I worked out with them twice. They signed me for like 4 days. And I ended up getting waived again because they wanted somebody that knew the system already to give Manu a break from minutes or something like that. And Ime Udoka, who's one of the assistant coaches now, he's in my workout. So we worked out together, and they signed me first, and then they cut me, and they signed him because he had been there before and knew the system better. But
how did that feel? Like, you get released, you have a chance.
It was tough.
And all of a sudden they're like, nah, this guy who has another system.
Because when you get cut once or you get cut twice, and now people think like something's really wrong with you. Like, he's damaged. Something's wrong. He's a head case, damaged goods, something where the team's cut him twice, so not many people are calling your phone or looking out to bring you on board. So, mentally it was a little tough, but I kept, working out. I was supposed to sign overseas because the lockout was supposed to happen. But I signed to a team, but I didn't want to go. So I was at home for a couple months. I had to wait for a letter of clearance just to play in the D League. Now it's the G League. But I was waiting for a letter of clearance to play in the D League. And it's the first time in some years that I had been home for Christmas and Thanksgiving, But I was working out. I was watching my teammates from Carolina play on TV. And
what were your family members saying to you? Like, they're seeing you, like, are you sleeping in your same house?
I was in my grandma's house. I stayed away from everybody. I saw me working out, but at the same time, my hours are weird when I sleep, and it was even worse then. And they thought I was depressed because I was just sleeping like all day and being up all night. It was weird. So they thought I was in a depressed mode, which I wasn't depressed, but at the same time, wasn't a great mood.
What was moving you? Were you still working out regularly?
Oh yeah, for sure. I knew opportunity would come, regardless if it didn't. I was gonna go out knowing that I gave everything. Yeah, I know I gave everything I had to the game before I retired or hung it up. But kept working out. Finally got a letter of clearance to play in the D League. I was happy just to be playing again because I was sitting at home for a minute. Ended up in Reno. I was like, oh, Reno, Nevada, that's cool. I don't know if you guys know Reno much. It's in Nevada. It's not Vegas. It's the total opposite of Las Vegas. So I thought at that time I was young. I was stupid. I'm not great at geography. So I'm like, oh, it can't be too far from Vegas. It's literally the opposite side of the state.
But you weren't making too much money to be gambling anyway in Vegas, right?
But so even then, Vegas is a fun city. You don't want to be there. No, I'm not a gambler anyway. But Vegas is a fun city. It's warm. It's cold there. It's in the mountains. It's not great. They have casinos.
But you were putting up numbers in Reno.
Yeah, we had a good team. We actually had a lot of guys there randomly that had made their own pathways. Jeremy Lin was up and down at the time. Steve Novak was there. He was there for like 2 days and left. We had Salim Stoudemire was there. Who else was with us? That Donald Sloan.
Jeremy Lin was there, or left right before you?
He was there. No, I left before Jeremy. He was up and down. He was assigned from, I think, Sacramento or Golden State. So he originally, I think, was drafted by Golden State or picked up by Golden State because in Summer League, I don't think he was drafted. He did well. He played with Dallas, and I think Golden State picked him up, and he was assigned down, back and forth. So he was that time there was only like 10 D-League teams, and our affiliate we were connected to 3 NBA teams or something like that. Sacramento and Golden State were 2 of them. So he was on assignment back and forth.
What's in your mindset, right? You're this McDonald's All-American, one of the top players in the country. You get to North Carolina. You play with LeBron James. You're living the basketball dream. And you're in Reno, and what? You were giving yourself?
Yeah, I had to walk to the gas station to get my own ice, figuring out how to find sneakers, tights, do my own laundry. It's crazy. Didn't have my car there at the time. Taking 2 or 3 flights in the cold. It was a very humbling experience. But it was great, though. So Phil Handy was actually there with me, too. That's how the first time I met Phil, because he's from the Bay Area, and he was coming down just to work out before he actually, I think, he got on with another roster coaching. But
so what's pushing you at this point? Is it just like you don't want to be a failure? Is it you just love the game of basketball so much?
All the above, for sure. But at the time, I knew once again, I knew my opportunity would come. Now I'm in the D League. Now I have an opportunity to prove myself and to show. That's the fastest route to the NBA. Now it's the G League. So I was there. I knew if I did well enough, I would get an opportunity. People always get hurt at the end of the season. Teams always sign guys at the end of the season just for the playoffs. So if I knew if I did what I was supposed to do, I would either get signed for playoffs or get called up. Luckily enough, I did. So I played well enough. My coach liked me, which was help. Eric Musselman. He was awesome. He's a little guy, but he's feisty. And he would cuss out a lot of refs, be ready to fight players. He was amazing. But
did he try to fight you anytime?
No, not me.
Okay.
Thank God. But
other
players, players on the other team and other coaches. But it was fun, man. It was interesting. But he was great, and he had my back, and he allowed me to play my game and kind of feature me there. So played well, and sure enough, I got a call. Well, I had to call Pop. I left a voicemail.
Oh, you called Pop?
I called Pop. So my agent gave me the idea, you might want to give him a call, see if he give you another chance. So I called him, left a voicemail. I guess a week or two later, they called me back and was like, yo, you ready to get back into the show? And I was like, hell yeah. I'm in Reno, you know what I'm saying? I was at home for 2 months. I'm trying to get out of Reno, and it wasn't fun. And I'm, do my own ice baths, cooking my own breakfast and everything, and finding my own clothes.
It's not that bad cooking your own breakfast, Danny.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Crazy.
But it was just a process, man. And overseas was very similar to that, too, that as well.
So just to catch up, everybody who's listening, so you go to the Spurs, then the lockout happens, so you finally make some headway.
Yeah, they called me back. He's ready to go to the show. I was like, hell yeah. So
you get there.
Get the call, and they're like, you're back with San Antonio.
It's
the end of the year, so we only have 10 games in the season. Well, I played a little bit because they were resting old guys, which was great for me. But then we had the playoffs, and we were 1 seed. I think Manu had dislocated his elbow or something. He pretty much played with a cast on in the playoffs. We played Memphis that year. They were 8 seed. I think it was one of the very few times the 8 seed beat the 1 seed.
Yep, I remember that.
We lost, so we were out of the playoffs
fairly early. Right when you're getting your chance again to get known.
And then the lockout happens, and then they're like, you got to figure it out. So I go overseas to Slovenia. I don't even know what the hell that was. I know that was a country. I didn't know somebody said it to me. I was like, "Are you speaking English?" He's like, "You're going to Slovenia." I'm like, "What? I'm going where? What is it? I don't know what that is. Is that a place?" I'm like, "Is that like a?" He was like, "Yeah, it's a country."
But at that point, you're trying to maximize your earning potential financially because you haven't been able to get NBA reps, so you have to go, right?
All around, obviously, you want to make some money, but I also want to stay in shape. I want to keep playing, and I want to, stay relevant, so that teams didn't forget about me. So when you're just in some time working out and you have to come back and make the team again, they didn't see you haven't done much, or they don't know, people can't follow you. So if it didn't work out with San Antonio, people say, "Oh, I seen him play in Slovenia or overseas. He looks like he's ready. We could use him. He can show some things, and other teams may be interested." So it was a win-win for me going over there, but it was another humbling experience.
Yeah, for sure. And then you finally blew up. That next year the Spurs get you go through the NBA finals.
Luckily, but yeah, Slovenia said we were there for 4 months. You practice twice a day, every day. Luckily, they spoke English there. You might not be getting. We weren't getting paid. I think I paid the first month, and after that 3 months, we weren't getting paid.
I heard they hold back paychecks in Slovenia. It's like you don't win, the owner doesn't want to pay.
They get paid depending on the economy and sponsors. So if the sponsors are not paying on time, or if the economy's not great, you're not going to get paid. You're still practicing twice a day. I'm like, I'm not getting paid enough. I'm not practicing twice a day anymore. Like, y'all not paying me to practice twice a day. I'll practice once a day, but. But if eventually you leave, they pay you. But I had to come back and make the team again in San Antonio. I was like the 15th man on the bench at that point, and they drafted Corey and Kawhi that summer before the lockout happened.
And eventually, you end up scoring all those threes in the finals. We got to go.
So what happened was Manu got hurt again. So this is when Manu.
Oh, okay.
Manu he's getting a little older, even though it seemed like he's been playing forever. Even after that point, he still played like another 7 years, 8 years. So they started figuring out we had to come off the bench and limit his minutes. I think he pulled a hamstring or he broke his hand. He broke his hand at this point. It was like 4 games into the season. It was me and Corey Joseph at the end of the bench. Y'all know Corey well because he's a Canadian guy. And he was a Raptor. So, yeah. So me and Corey ended the bench. And I'm like, just stay ready. It's going to happen. People get hurt. It's 82 games. A lot of guys get hurt. Your number's going to be called. Next you know, Manu gets hurt 4 games into the season. He broke his hand. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. And they're trying to figure out who is going to fill those shoes or fill that void. We need another starting point guard or 2 guard, or we need somebody back. They had James Anderson at the time, and they had somebody else. But I was still at the end of the bench, and I think this is back when Steph and Monte were together in Golden State. So Monte is very good. Monte Ellis, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, is really good. He was better than Steph at the time. Steph wasn't Steph yet. He still had the ankle injuries and stuff like that. So he still had like 20 at halftime. And he had an ankle injury, so he wasn't coming back in the second half, thank God. Monte had probably like 20, 25 also at halftime. They're trying to figure out who can stop, like who we're going to get to stop this guy, from scoring. He had like 33 going into like the fourth. He's on his road to like going to 50, 45.
And you're licking your chops.
And they're like, you know what? Pop is known to just throwing somebody in there, usually in a game where it's not that close or that matters that much, just to see how you're going to react. He'll just call your name, and you'll be like, oh, me? You sure? Like, I just got here. Like, guys he'll sign, he'll just throw him in the game. And I'm like, he's like, Danny. And I'm like, looking around. There's another Danny on the bench. I'm like, this is a close game. It's Golden State. I'm the 15th man. Let's go. Get in there. And I'm like, to do what? What do you want me to do? So he goes in there. He goes, you're going to guard Monte Ellis. I said, what? I'm just sitting on the bench for 3 quarters. I'm dead cold. This guy's got 33. What do you expect me to do with this guy? He's fast as hell. He's really fast.
Well, he gives the business, yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll do the best I can. He goes, you're going to 21 him. I don't know what that means. But it's a theory. We're going to do this on him. It's a certain way we're going to guard him. He's like, this is all you have to do. He's like, do this, and this. Try not to let him catch the ball. All right. I'll try my best. He caught the ball, obviously, multiple times. He did not catch the ball. But I played pretty good defense on him. I stopped him a couple times. I made him shoot some tough shots, and we ended up winning the game. So from there, I went from playing like 2 minutes, 5 minutes a game, playing 10 minutes a game. He's like, all right, play a little defense. I started picking up people full court. Started picking up like Ricky Rubio full court, because I know I wasn't playing a lot of minutes.
Yeah, so you might as well
go all out. If I'm out there, I'm just going to chase guys and show that I'm there. So they liked the way that I played defense. They didn't care about three-pointers. So we went from playing 10 minutes to 15 minutes, and then from there, got opportunity to play a little offense. Even though I did shoot and make threes, they didn't run plays for me. And even when I left, they still didn't run plays for me. He didn't run plays for me. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, Danny scores when he gets the ball if he's open. But other than that, we're not running plays. He's a defensive guy, and that's his pop. So, but from that's how it all wrote itself. It just went from being the last guy on the bench with Corey, from Manu being hurt, to be like, oh, halfway through the season, they're like, oh. He's like, you're going to start this game. I'm looking at him like, what are you talking? Like, it's the middle of the season. And I think I went 0 for 8 that game as well. Didn't hit a basket. And then he's like, next game, I was actually going home to New York. He goes, don't worry about it. Just keep playing your game. You're fine. You're going to start again. He's like, the numbers in your favor because you can't shoot as worse as you did last game. You're going to be all right. You're going to hit at least one today. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. Good to know. It's a story of perseverance, always being ready, even when life comes at you in different angles and you have disappointments when your number is called. If you're prepared, even when you don't think you're going to get called on, if you perform, you can make it on and be a professional basketball player.
For sure. Whatever it is, keep at it. Your opportunity is going to come. I knew that. And, my family, I had a good foundation, a good people, group around me that kept reiterating that to me. Like, just don't worry about it. It's going to come. Take your time. They were very patient and positive, and that helped me stay motivated and helped me be calm and not panic and just think, I have to look at other routes to do something different. But, it was good. So luckily, it turned out for me, and it does happen. A lot of opportunities are going to come regardless. You just keep working at something, your opportunity will come, and it did.
Yeah, it's a story that could apply not just to basketball, but to everybody's life here and listening when this podcast does get released. We will have Michael Grange on in a moment. We're going to take a quick break. Danny, I'll let you say hi to some of the people. They're probably going to ask you about Kawhi in the meantime.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back. We're back with Inside the Green Room, segment 2 of our live podcast taping in Halifax, Canada with Danny Green. We're here at the Canadian Museum of Immigration, and I believe we have Michael Grange from Sportsnet, a writer, columnist, and
he's on the line.
Great reporter about the Toronto Raptors, on the line with us.
Mike, you here with us, Mike? No? Cool. It's all right. He'll get on soon, I think. In the meantime.
There we go.
Hi, you reached Mike.
No, we're leaving a voicemail. We'll leave
Mike a voicemail.
Yeah, we're leaving a voicemail. Is that cool?
At the tone, please record your message. When you are finished recording, you may hang up.
Danny, you want to
press
go?
pound for more options.
I'll let you finish. Mike, what's up, man? Stan. I know we go way back like 4 flats on the Cadillac, but we got a group of people here waiting to hear from you. We're waiting to hear from you. We're doing the pod right now. Harrison, you want to jump in? Go ahead.
Mike, just want to hear from you, buddy. I just want to make sure everything's okay.
Called twice now.
You called twice now.
Or is it 3 times?
Third time is a little worrisome.
Yeah,
so give us a call back. Okay? Thank you. There's time is the charm.
Give it one more shot. Mike's going to strike out. Give him another.
Hi, you reached Mike.
Mike missed out, man. What time is it? What time is it?
Thank you. Bye.
What time is it exactly?
I don't know. I don't got my phone over. Anyway, she's gonna call back in our next segment. It's 8:07. I think we said
we
we're gonna
told
call
him 8:05, right?
We told him 8:05.
Okay. That's a hell of an idea. The crazy thing is he probably wouldn't answer my calls either. He'd be like, nah, he works for the media now. We got a podcast. I'm not answering that guy's calls. Anybody has to do anything with media, he's not answering.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, we're going to start with the second segment.
I think we're going to start with the second segment.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good.
We're good to go?
Let's keep it rolling. Yeah, we're
okay,
good.
that's fine. All right. So.
Segment 2.
Oh, okay. So what we'll do, segment 2, and then when we, this is what we'll do.
Test.
Yeah, we'll wait for that. Okay. So tonight we're going to we could do the citizenship test. We could do that segment. So tonight we're going to give away a basketball for Danny, signed by Danny. Actually, let's just do that right now. Danny, do we have to?
That one? Is it those two?
I think it's that one. Just don't say that. Don't mention the other one.
Okay.
All right, I might have messed that up.
I don't know what the
yeah.
hell.
All right, so one ball is going to go away, and if Danny gets this citizenship test correct, we're going to end up giving the other basketball away. If not, then we're going to have to hold on to it. We'll give it away at another time. We'll give it away tonight if he gets 3 out of the 5 questions correct. And we'll give it to somebody here in the audience. So, Danny, you got to be quick with this, but let's go ahead and start the test.
Is there answer on the paper behind me, or
let's start
name
with this
the 3
one,
Toronto Raptors who have scored more than 50 points in franchise history. Ooh. I'm gonna go with DeMar.
Yes.
Vince.
Yes.
I want to say Tracy McGrady, but I feel like it's somebody else. Terrence Ross, yes.
I see what we got here. I see what we're doing here.
Good help from the crowd. Yeah.
I see what we're doing here.
I do remember that.
check my man's out.
He had like 10 threes, 10 threes that game or something like that. I remember that. That's crazy.
For the people who end up listening to the podcast, it was
Which one of these are not an NHL Canadian team? I'm definitely getting this wrong.
Okay, hold on. Let me read the question one more time, Denny.
Okay.
Which of these are not an NHL Canadian team? The Toronto Maple Leafs, the Ottawa Senators, the Montreal Canadiens, Edmonton Polar Bears, Winnipeg Jets, and the Vancouver Canucks. You guys don't help my friend here.
I'm going to go with the Ottawa Senators. Actually, that is a team. Polar Bears. I knew I was going to get that right.
Yeah, we got to work on it. We got some work to do with them, guys. Got some work to do with them.
I thought there was 2 of them, though. I was going to guess 2 teams. I don't know why.
All right, here we go. This one is switch to music a little bit. Which of these artists are not Canadian?
They're all Canadian.
Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, Party Next Door.
They're all Canadian.
Oh, they're all Canadian.
Yeah, they're all Canadian.
Okay. Yeah. So we got 2 right, 1 wrong. You need 1 more to make sure that one of our fans here get another basketball.
Music and basketball, I'm good with that. Hockey, not so much.
Which of the following is a Canadian chain?
Oh, God.
Starbucks.
I know this one.
Tim Hortons. Wendy's.
It's one of my favorite places here.
Burger King.
Tim Hortons.
Nice.
I get my citizenship.
Welcome to Canada.
Do I get a citizenship now? Yeah.
And now we'll just do this one for fun then, I guess. This is like a bonus.
Okay, yeah. I think I get this one right, too.
Which of the following is the national sport of Canada? Hockey, skiing, lacrosse, or basketball?
Hockey. Skiing, huh? Man, that's crazy.
It is lacrosse. Lacrosse. Now, the question that I had for you, Danny, you ever been to a hockey game before? I know you played in cold weather cities. I mean, hot warm weather cities.
Game. very much looking forward to seeing one live. I hope there's a fight, but I have not been to a hockey game.
Okay. I think it's going to be a good time for you. You haven't been to a hockey game. You've played at North Carolina. You played in San Antonio. Have you ever actually been to an MLB baseball game? You have that chance too now in Toronto.
Not in San Antonio. I wasn't at a baseball game.
Yeah, there's no baseball team,
And not MLB in college. I went to see college play.
Okay.
But I had been to a baseball game, and I was like I was young, though. It was a random basketball camp. They took us to like a Pittsburgh game or something like that. But not as an adult, I have not been to a baseball game in a long time.
Okay, well, you have the opportunity now to do both in Toronto.
Got to.
And, we got to make sure you know all the Canadian hockey teams as well.
For sure, that helps. Polar Bears, I'll for sure know that they're not a team.
We do have time here for some questions from the audience. If you can, there's a microphone to my right, and we picked out 3 people that are going to ask you questions, Danny.
Okay.
We have one from Mike McMahon.
Mike, like the hat.
What's up, Mike?
The hat is fire. I actually was looking at it before you got up. I was like, I need to get one of those hats. I'm a hat guy. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I like hats.
First off, just welcome to Halifax.
Thank you, man.
So
appreciate
cool.
it.
It's amazing.
I've had a great warm welcome. Thank you. It took me forever to get through, my bag, and then I brought the rain too. So
I hope you get your bag back.
Yeah, thanks.
My question, now that you're a Raptor, who are you looking forward to playing with the most on the team?
Besides Kawhi.
Kawhi,
I played with Kawhi for like 7-8 years, so I played with him quite a bit. It's been a year or two since we've actually played together. But I'm excited to see him out there again. But probably the most exciting to play with is probably JV, Valanciunas.
Ooh. Why is that?
Because he's a passing big, and not too many bigs are great at passing, and he likes to pass. And we all like to score. So if you cut, it seems like he'll throw you the ball. And he also is the guy that's probably going to set most of the screens for me. He's going to probably get me open the most and probably look for me the most if I'm running the floor or cutting through. So he seems like a big, gentle giant, nice guy, personality-wise.
But on the court.
As a basketball player, he's not a gentle giant. He's very physical and he's a bully. But I'm interested in looking forward to seeing how well, how I play with him.
Mike, thank you for coming to the show tonight.
Yeah, thanks,
Appreciate
Mike. Appreciate it, man. Nice hat.
We got 2 more questions, and then we're going to try and call Michael again. If he sends us to the voicemail one more time, we got problems. Next question is from Allie Raymond.
Allie, don't be shy.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
What's up, Allie? How you doing? Where you from?
I'm from Calgary.
Oh.
Calgary.
You didn't come all the way from Calgary for this.
Where's that again? What is that? Is that a country? Is that a city too? Sorry.
That's near the Edmonton Polar Bears.
You have my ignorance geography-wise. A lot of these places I've never heard of in my life. I actually have heard of it, I just don't know where it's at.
Yeah, it's just before Vancouver. It's the west
Oh,
coast of
okay,
Canada.
cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, Vancouver.
Yeah, welcome Halifax.
Thank
Great
you.
to have you. My question was, what's one of your best or funniest stories that we might not know about Manu? You're talking
Manu?
About, yeah, Manu. Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like a messed up.
Oh.
I have a story.
Not
I mean, it happened most recent. There's a lot of funny stories with Manu, and it's kind of very unfortunate for him. He's the butt of this joke. So I don't know if you guys know much about Manu, but he's had quite a few injuries throughout his years. He's given up much of his body to the organization. If you guys know the part of the body that I'm talking about the story about to give up, it's quite interesting. So Manu, he's the one known to take charges, don't dive on the floor, and jump into the stands to save a basketball. Pop's always cussing us out for not taking charges. I'm not taking charges. I like to block. I like to block shots, so I get away with it because I'll block a shot or two here and there and get away with it. I'll take a charge, but those big guys rolling down the paint, they have big knees, feet, and bodies that it hurts. Manu, for some reason, he just doesn't care. He's just like, all right, throw my body in there. He caught a very good knee to an area of his body. It was not good, and he limped off. He limped off. After the game, his voice was very high pitched. he had a very soft sounding, and Timmy was messing with him. Tim Duncan, I'm talking at the time.
I think we all knew Tim.
He's messing with him. He playing. What happened, man? Did you lose a ball, or And unfortunately, he actually did. Like he did, but he had to get surgery the next day. Timmy felt crazy. He felt so bad. Timmy felt so bad, but he had to. So part of part of it, not the whole, but part of his body, he had to get surgery on, and they had to take out, and that's. I'd say the organization owns it, but he gave his balls to the organization.
He gave his career, yeah.
The guy, he put his real body on the line. It's a good thing he had 3 kids at this point already.
That was my next question,
So, sorry, Mano, I didn't want to tell everybody that, but I had to. That's the only thing that came to mind.
Well, thank you for making our podcast now R-rated for that question.
Thanks, Ali. Appreciate it, man.
We have one more quick question, and then we're going to try that phone call again. This will be from Sagar Sahoda. Sagar Sahoda. That's right?
All right.
Nice. Where are you from?
I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Oh, okay. Vancouver, okay.
Go to school here at Dalhousie University, just finishing up my degree.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
My question is for Harrison and Danny.
Okay.
And my question is, how is the perception of Canada and the city of Toronto and the Raptors organization changed in the eyes of you and your peers over the years?
Go ahead, Harrison. I'll let you answer this first.
Wow.
I'll go second. I'll piggyback second.
Well, as somebody who's been a journalist now for over 10 years, I've been able to talk to a couple players, and they love Toronto. I don't know how much it's changed. Danny, maybe you could speak to more of that, but they've always loved it. I think having known some agents as well, they always appreciate visiting Toronto. I think, Danny, maybe you could speak to the perception of if they'll ever stay, but I think for the most part,
I've probably been coming
good.
more often than Harrison has. I've been doing a camp up in Huntsville for the last 10 plus years. It's Camp Olympia. It's been a lot of fun, and the kids there are great. The people there are great. And at first, when I got there, it was like a getaway because there was no cell service. It was just on the lake, and it was real, tranquil. It was cool. But as I've seen over the years, the 10 plus years, or the last decade or so, I think the culture, the energy has changed due to the fact that you have certain people, big time people, come from there and actually make a name for themselves and kind of put Canada on the map, like a Drake, The Weeknd, Justin Bieber, Tory Lanez, Party Next Door. Music is a big part of every culture everywhere, and music kind of changes a lot of how a city is and how people interact and stuff like that. So I think the music side of it has helped Toronto be put on the map and also grow, and the city of Canada in general, but Toronto for sure is known and people visit more. But it's always a great city to visit. Even back, I talked to my dad's friends when they were visiting back in the 80s and 90s, like, oh, Toronto's booming back then. I can't imagine. I'm like, it was the 80s, man. It's a lot better now. It's more updated. It's modern, but it's a great city. But from the time that I've seen it, I can see it grow culturally, especially from the music side of things, and basketball side obviously getting better. You guys, have had some ups and downs. Every organization has ups and downs where they're really good, then they're not so good. I've been lucky, been on teams that have been always good. In San Antonio, it's a rarity where you see a team be good for that long, 20 years. But Toronto's had the ups and downs. But you see the culture, basketball-wise and music-wise, kind of change the city culturally and have it grow and be one of the major cities in the league and throughout, I guess, the North America. So. Mike's ready. Cool.
We think so. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so we're going to talk to Michael Grange from Sportsnet. We're going to try to again. We're going to talk about, we saved the whole Kobe and Kawhi workout. We're going to talk about Kyle Lowry working out with Chauncey Billups. And then we're going to do a little name association with the Raptors roster. And then I have a question as well that Michael might be able to answer. I don't know. We'll see what your response is to it as well, Danny.
Let's do it. Let's see what we got. Is Mike on the line?
So let's try and call Michael.
Try it one more time. Here we go. We're going to give him another shot. We'll see what his excuse is for not picking up the first 3 times.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello there.
Mike, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
How is everybody?
Everything is good. We're just trying to get your audio turned up a little bit in here so we can hear you a bit clearer.
Okay.
But Michael, Danny and I called you.
We left your message, man. Did you get it?
I have not checked my messages yet.
Oh man, you're gonna laugh.
I was playing golf today, so I had it on Do Not Disturb, but I forgot to turn it off.
Oh, okay. No worries. You'll listen to it after this, and you'll have a little laugh.
Yeah, have a good laugh about it.
Not a big laugh, but a little laugh.
Is it like a mean voicemail? Like,
No, not at all, man. The people left the voicemail. They gave you some good love.
All right.
We were just worried about you. That's
tweets
all.
Already, you know. I get like tweets like pick up the phone. And there's no patience out there for anybody.
What are you doing? Pick up the phone.
It's like everybody's perfect.
No judgment here, Mike. We know you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. So. Actually, you are perfect.
Yeah, no. We could do a podcast about how I'm not perfect, and it would go on for a long time.
Mike, we want to just talk to you quickly about some Raptors going into this season. Our first question, when you saw Kobe Bryant working out with Kawhi Leonard, how encouraging should that be for Raptors fans? Or discouraging.
Or discouraging, yeah.
My well-known anti-Kobe stance. Well, I would say I think encouraging, because Kobe Bryant is nothing except, he's a craftsman, and he has a lot of knowledge to share. I think it's very telling when a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who's already at the peak of his craft, wants to go and try and absorb more knowledge. Yeah. So that's all very positive.
Yeah, for sure.
The fact that that Kobe Bryant is also so tightly affiliated with the Lakers, I guess would be cause for some apprehension. But I know the Raptors coaches were there too, and I think any of this stuff has to be evaluated in kind of a long wave, right? Like there's no moment in this season where that I'm sure Kawhi Leonard is going to go, I got to get out of here, or I got to stay. It's going to be like little micro developments over time that's going to influence him one way or the other. And the fact that he's healthy and wants to work with Kobe Bryant, I think, will help him have a great season. And the best chance the Raptors have of having Kawhi Leonard stay here is him having a great season, the Raptors having a great season, and him deciding this is a place where he can have a future.
If Kawhi is healthy, right?
Yeah.
Where can his game actually improve to where being with Kobe makes him operate at an even higher level than what we've seen him?
Kobe's obviously it's hard to compare anybody to Kobe. He was one of the greatest, I think, to ever do it, especially on certain aspects of the game. His footwork was unreal, it was unmatched. His competitiveness is another thing as well. Obviously, he's a god in this sport. He's one of the legends of for everybody. But Kawhi, if he continues to learn from him, I could see he could definitely come close. You see where he left off at. He was in MVP race just a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. He's one of the best two-way players in the game because of how great he was defensively before he got good offensively. He was good with his hands, good at blocking shots, getting steals, and that made him very efficient and effective on the offensive end, because you get easy 2 or 3 baskets a game just getting steals and getting layups or dunks. But offensively, you got that mid-range game, got in the post, and perfected or kind of got his spots down pat to where he knew certain moves, certain shots were automatic. If he gets any type of the Kobe footwork, he's going to be very dangerous. But so I'm interested to see how his explosiveness is going to be coming back, especially with the injury. Kawhi trickled off to his knee a little bit. But I think he'll still be, regardless if he has athleticism or explosiveness now, even though he doesn't seem like it to most people, he's a very high IQ guy, a high IQ basketball player. He knows the floor, he knows his angles, and he knows how to play the game, and he knows how to score and defend without having to use that explosiveness. He can still get places and still, be effective, especially with how big his hands are, how long his arms are defensively. Offensively, he knows how to use body well to get, to the free throw line and get to the basket. So regardless of the way, I think he's going to be great if he doesn't have his full athleticism back as he was younger or before the injury. But learning from Kobe, he could be a complete monster.
Somebody who's gotten a lot of slack as a Raptor has been Kyle Lowry. because of the Raptors' inability to get all the way to the finals. But he's the one main star that stayed. Obviously, Dwayne Casey was let go as head coach. DeMar DeRozan was traded. And obviously, there was this period that Kyle Lowry had during the summer where he didn't want to talk to the media because him and DeMar DeRozan had developed such a strong friendship. How do you think that impacts him now going into this new team with a new star? And Danny, you could attest to this. Kawhi is probably, not saying anything is wrong with Kawhi, but he's probably not the most chatty person. So we know the difficulties that Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan had in becoming friends on the court after a while it happened. How difficult can this period be for Kyle Lowry, Michael?
I don't think it's going to be all that difficult. I mean, it was. I would say it was a blow. Their relationship, DeMar DeRozan's relationship with Kyle Lowry, vice versa, was real. It took time to develop, but it developed organically, and it was, they truly were friends. And, seeing a friend move on, especially one you've had so much success with, you don't take that lightly. But, Kyle Lowry has been in this league a long time. He's been traded. He's been on the wrong end of all kinds of decisions. He's had coaches fired. He's arguably, maybe in some cases, head coaches want to fire him. He's the epitome of a veteran. And I think I have zero concern about him having any sort of hangover about DeMar DeRozan leaving and that somehow impacting his performance or his role with that team. And as it relates to, will he be able to develop an on-court symmetry or cohesiveness with Danny or with Kawhi Leonard? I don't think that's going to be an issue because Kyle Lowry wants to win. And, the issues he had, when he first came to Toronto were very much around he didn't want to be here. He was a much more immature person. He would tell you that. And all those things are in the past. This guy at this point is a pro. He understands what opportunities presented to him. And I think he's going to, do everything he can to execute at the highest level. Doesn't mean he won't miss his friend. I do think, just from a public, how to carry, how to be the face of a team. DeMar DeRozan took a lot of weight and a lot of heat in that aspect. He was just such a, Danny knows him, I'm sure. He's just such an easygoing guy. He was very much, and he soaked up a lot of tension in that room. And how that is going to manifest itself with a new dynamic, new guys, that's maybe a little bit interesting question, but I don't think it's going to be an issue where Kyle Lowry's going to somehow have his performance affected. And, the number one currency in the NBA is respect. And, Kyle Lowry, I can guarantee you, respects Kawhi Leonard, vice versa, and that's always the basis of a great relationship.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's hard to say, but I think even though Kawhi is not chatty, I don't think he has to be because he's going to make the game a lot easier for everybody around him and for Kyle. So I think it'd be easy for him to adapt and adjust. But I agree, DeMar is one of the most laid-back guys you can meet. He's a really good guy, and the process for him sucked. And I'm, sad that I'm sad for him that it didn't go the way that it should have for him, or as smoothly as it should have. But so Kyle's been in his business long enough to understand and know how it works. But it's going to be interesting to see how Kyle plays this year. I think hopefully he's even better. He has more chip on his shoulder. But I'm looking forward to playing with him and probably going to make my life easier too. As a point guard, he's really good as well.
Michael, we want to thank you for picking up the phone this time around.
Yeah.
We'll be in Toronto shortly. The Inside the Green Room team is. Obviously, Danny will be there. Danny, have you met Michael face-to-face yet?
I don't think so, Mike. Have we met before?
We have not.
Okay.
You know what? I did, Danny. You were for your draft workout.
Oh, 9 years ago.
We did meet then. I don't hold it against you if you don't remember me.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago. And
I met a lot of people 9 years ago. They're like, "Yeah, I was here for your draft workout." I'm like, I had a couple of draft workouts in 9 years.
I've admired your game and your career, It's a great example to a lot of people.
Thank you.
And look forward to chatting with you on Monday and then in Vancouver.
Yeah, looking forward as well.
Michael, just make sure the first question you ask Danny is not about Kawhi Leonard, and everything will be smooth from then on out.
Well, Kawhi should be there, so ask him
I could understand why. Okay, take care.
Thanks,
Take care, Michael.
Smooth.
All right, that was good. Our show obviously went a little bit out of order because Michael didn't pick up the phone. Yeah. So I think we are going to give away our basketballs now. There was a little raffle that we had.
Yeah.
Danny, I'll let you say both of the names. We got to make sure we have the Sharpie.
Is my mic working? You guys can hear me?
I don't know.
Is my mic working? All right. I'm
there
saying
we
both
go.
the names.
Just to validate that now it's actually happened. We could actually hit the house lights too if you want. All right. Oh, here. So you're gonna sign that one, and you're gonna sign this, and then you could announce the names one at a time.
We have 2 winners. So for the first winner, right?
Yeah.
Am I announcing it right now?
You can announce. Oh, you can announce it right now. Yeah.
Okay. Stephanie Hurley.
Hey, come on up.
Also with a nice hat.
You want to take a picture real quick? Take a picture. You want to take a picture? Yeah.
Turn the lights on.
Yeah.
It's also a nice hat. It's a nice hat.
And then our other winner, you want to get that other one as well, Danny?
And the other one.
I can't really pronounce that.
Elijah.
There you go.
Mantley. Elijah.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Big homie.
Wait. Who's Elijah though?
Which one's Elijah?
Who's Elijah?
You're Elijah. Nice to meet you, big homie.
Are you gonna take the ball from him? You gonna let him get it?
You
gotta sign it. He's gotta sign it first. Come on.
I signed that one. There's one for her.
Oh, right here. There we go. Are we taking the picture? Oh, there we go.
Who's got the camera?
Cameraman
is over there. Okay, there we go. You guys want to hop over? Yeah, come on over here. Big homie, stand right here. Stand in front. There you go. Say cheese. Small big. Say cheese. Canadian cheese. Yeah. There you go. You got him?
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining the raffle.
It's your ball. It's yours. Cool, man.
We're going to head outside in a moment. Before we do that, actually, just stand up. I want to give a special shout out to Steel Auto Group for helping us out. We got a nice little ride.
Steel Auto Group, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Host Often as well for housing us. And then you guys, what in the world? Danny just got in today. What in the world should Danny have to eat?
Everybody says that. Oh my Jesus. That's the first. Everybody, I gotta get a Donair. What the hell is that?
You'll find it. Oh, you haven't had one yet?
No, it sounds like an airline. I'm like, yo. I'm like, what? Don Air? I'm like, am I flying Don Air?
Well,
no, go get a Donair. They texted to me, so it's Don Air. I'm like, what the hell is Don Air? Is it an airline? Like, no, go get a Donair. Eat it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Maybe we'll find out what that is. We're going to head over to Press Gang tonight and enjoy your meal. They don't do that?
They don't have Donair?
You got to get...
Damn it.
All right, well...
We got to get some picked up
You got to get some, like, late night grub. Late night grub or something like that?
Yeah, we could do a late night stop through.
Yeah.
Uber Eats a Donair to me.
Once again, thank you guys for officially welcoming Danny to Canada and to Halifax. Thank you to the Canadian Museum of Immigration for having us here at Pier 21. It's been a lot of fun. This podcast will be available to download tomorrow morning, and then you can follow us on social media at Inside Green Room on Instagram and Green Room Inside on Twitter. And then Danny and I will be doing another podcast next week at Media Day. I don't know. Can I stay at your crib? I didn't get an Airbnb yet.
Yeah, I got some room.
Oh, yeah. And then before we go, we're going to get a selfie. If you guys don't mind jumping in. And then after that, we'll go outside.
Danny, need to stand up, though.
Danny will sign autographs, do pictures right outside. So if you want to.
We'll get a couple of you guys. Okay. We'll have to do half the room and half the room. So we got to get.
Wait, Danny, you're too tall.
Bro, no, you're good. So we'll get two halves. We should do a video.
We got to get a video.
We'll do a video selfie. Are we like making some noise?
Are we going to get people to stay?
Halifax. Here we go. I think we got everybody. We're Halifax. That was with a video selfie. That's cool.
Yeah. That works? That's good.
Still shot or screenshot, some whatever pictures you want to take from there.
All right. So I'll let you control traffic from here. Special shout out to Title League as well for making this all happen as well. They deserve a round of applause.